Hey, here are 5 things that are required for change. I wrote a blog post on it. You can see it probably below this post. If you want to read it, if you want a video, some people enjoy videos, so I make one of those usually for each blog post that I do. So 5 requirements for change. If you want to see it show up in your life, you're feeling stuck, maybe consider these 5 things before you get started so that it will make the process a little easier and more achievable. So number 1, you have to be willing. So if you're willing to have the change show up, you have to be willing to experience feelings, uncomfortable feelings. You got to be willing to lose things, gain things, have circumstances shift and change. If you're not willing to let go and allow those things to happen, and if you're not willing to feel feelings or get upset or feel uncomfortable or feel a variety of different things that could happen as a result of trying to achieve what you want, then you might as well not even get started. So number 1, you have to be willing to experience anything that's going to happen in the process as a result of making that change. The second thing is openness. You have to be open, honest, truthful with other people, with yourself. You have to be open to receive. If you're a person who says, I'd rather give than receive, then you're not going to see the change show up. You have to be open to receive and receptive in that way in order to see any changes show up in your life, in your reality. You have to be vulnerable, be willing and vulnerable and open to feeling those feelings of vulnerability, so that they see how 1 goes into 2 here. Number 3, you have to drop expectations of how you think this should happen, the time that you think it should happen, the ways that it shows up. Stop trying to control and dictate that change, and stop trying to create a plan around it with the very many details, because that doesn't always work out. You have to be willing and open to drop your expectation and, say, okay, well, I think it should look like this, and this is the partner, and this is the place I'm going to live, and this is the job, and this is what I'm going to, do, and then, it should show up this way. But, you have to be willing, as I said, number 1, willingness to drop expectations, willing to be open, and willing in general just to feel anything that is going to be coming your way. So once you get that ball rolling and you start to, drop that expectations, you're going to have to learn to be instead of do, get, and earn. So what do I mean by that is be with something, be still, be in a moment, be in the present, not live in the past, not always anticipate the future, and stop doing. People always want to do more. They think they're going to get more results, more love, more value, more money, this and that. And so, they feel like if they earn that, then all of a sudden they're entitled or they're deserving because they've earned. And that's a big, huge myth. A lot of people are like, well, I've been such a really good person. I don't know why these bad things are happening to me. Or I don't know why I can't get what I want. I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that. And it's a big do. Do is done, right? Done is the after effect of do. So if you just be in it, instead of continuing to do, to get, to earn, and think that it has to show up in the way that you thought it should, and all of that, you're going to be disappointed, and the change is never going to occur. So that's important that you learn how to be. Practice meditation, be still. You need guidance, let me know. That's what I do. I help people to learn how to do these things. Also, finding God and a spiritual practice, it means finding yourself. So if you're not finding God and you're feeling like abandoned by God or spirit, or however you want to look at it, the universe, whatever people say, I say God. So, if you're feeling abandoned by God, you need to look into yourself. The more that you uncover your true self and uncover the layers that are clouding the truth of who you really are, the more that you can find a connection and feel God and know God and see God and experience God. So that Holy Spirit runs through you and lives within you. And if you have a bunch of clouds or a bunch of layers of crap covering it up, then how are you ever going to see God if you haven't seen the truth of who you are and acceptance of the truth of who you are? So a lot of people spend our lives covering up the true self in order to be accepted, covering up the true self in order to follow some kind of a blueprint laid out for them by another person or another culture or another religion or whatever the heck the thing is. So, you spend your whole life trying to fit into that and you lose who you are. So you really have to go in to find who you really are at the root and the core and the very base in order to feel connected, in order to feel connection with God, and then thereby connecting you with what you really want, what you feel that you really want. So everybody starts out this whole thing with, oh, I'm miserable, I need to change. This would make me feel so much better if this. It would make me feel so much better if that. But if you don't want to go through these things, at least these first 5, then, you're not going to get there. So try to Google some of these things. Listen to podcasts, read articles, watch videos, do whatever it takes to try to investigate some of these things I'm talking about today. But number 1 is the willingness. And if you can't say at a strong 10, I'm willing to do or feel or experience whatever it takes to get change in my life, then forget it. So that would be number 1. But I just wanted to put that little blurb out there for you, and I hope it helps. If you need guidance, I'm here. Click on my blog post. If you need a session with me, let me know. I'm always around.